in on that. Right now, let's lock in on some women's basketball because it is a Monday on the show. It is roundabouts 5:15. It means that we are about to be joined by Felisha Legette-Jack, as always brought to us by Matthews Nissan and Matthews Kia of Clay. Coach Jack, thanks as always for hopping on.
Oh, thanks so much for having me. Happy Monday.
Yes, happy Monday to you. We're watching a little lacrosse right now. Coach, are you in on the lax? I mean, you've been around Cuse your whole life for the most part. You up on your lacrosse knowledge?
Not at all. Not at all. But I'll sell it like I know what I'm talking about. As long as we score more points, I'm all in.
There you go. And right now, the Orange Men have a 4-1 lead on Towson in the game that started about 15 minutes ago, so we like that. How about the Super Bowl last night? Are you? We know everyone's in on the Super Bowl. Did you watch that thing last night and the commercials and the halftime and all that stuff?
I didn't see any of it. I'm too busy working. It's basketball season for me. It's all basketball right now. I'm locked in. I'm interviewing. I'm recruiting. I'm talking to cats. I'm trying to talk about NIL. It's all basketball. And unfortunately, I saw a couple commercials, and I saw that our Eagles won. That's all that matters to me.
There you go. Eagles blowing out the Chiefs last night. And you got a win yesterday as well, beating Wake. You win on the road at Virginia Tech last Thursday. What a great week, right? You guys got to be feeling pretty good after this last 7 days or so.
You know what? We've been feeling pretty good, even though we haven't had the score say that we were good. You know, that's kind of important to know, because I know what our young ladies have been doing in the dark. I know how hard they've been working. I know how we trained. And when I tell you we trained to compete, to win those games that we lost, I'm not lying to you. I was obviously disappointed, but I wasn't devastated, because I know what we're looking like. I know that, our players are getting better. I know that the system's starting to work. Our culture's locked in for 100%, and it just didn't get the score. We were up 14 against Virginia, and we found a way to piss that away. It's not because we didn't try to be aggressive and competitive. It just kind of ball didn't bounce our way, and so. I think that we got the right mindset moving forward, and I just hope that we can continue to find some success on the scoreboard as well.
What does it say about your team here? You won with 90 on the board on Thursday. You won with 60 on the board yesterday. That you were able to win two totally different styles of basketball games in the span of 4 days.
Yeah, I think it's important that that's what's so beautiful about this game called sport, right? You can say, if you have your job, you go and do the same thing on a computer, you can get the same results. But you go and play a sport, every single day is just a new journey. That's why people play sport. That's why people love sport, and they root for their team, because the score is going to always be different. It's never going to be 0-0, but it's going to be 1-0. It could be 10-0. It could be something different. And you got to, as an athlete and as a coach, you got to lock into the moment that there's no rhyme or reason why things happen. You adjust on the fly. That's why I think that it's important that you hire people that play sport, because they know how to ever flow with this thing. Go high when it's high, low when it's low, but find that zone and lock into it and let the chips fall where they may.
I know who was locked into the zone on Thursday, Coach Jack, and that was Sophie Burrows. 8 threes. Well, she was just bombing all night, had 28 points, and you had to have it, right? That was a game that was high scoring from the get-go, and she kind of kept you going the whole night long.
And then people were falling down left and right, Isla went down with an ankle sprain, and we thought she was gone for the day, and then all of a sudden Georgia goes down, and I just looked into Sophie's eyes, and she just said, "Coach, what's the next play?" And when it's special when you see your players start playing for each other. And I know that Sophie knew that the chips, her shoulders had to be broad, because two of our starters were sitting on the sideline, and she stepped up big time. Kyra stepped up big time. Dom stepped up big time. And so, we're doing that sister keeper thing, and I'm just so pleased to be in this circle with these young ladies and see the transformation from, we don't know, we might be good. I don't know if I believe to not just believing, but going after it and taking it.
You mentioned Isabel Verja. I mean, she left that game injured on Thursday. She was playing, Coach, sick yesterday, then had to leave the game. How's she doing right now?
And she's good now. It's just that it's these viruses that's going around, and our young ladies, they don't tell us that they feel under the weather when they get out there, and next thing you know, they seeing double. And I'm like, wait a minute, why are you looking at me like that? Because I see two of you, Coach. I'm like, oh, hell, that's not good. And so Dr. Tucker and Karen, Miss Karen, our athletic trainer, did it the right way. They got her some treatment. They took her to the emergency room just to double check, so that, because their health is the most important thing, and they get that very, very seriously. And they test and found out she's going to be okay, but we're going to slowly bring her back and get her healthy.
You shoot for the one in the middle, Coach. That's the one you shoot for, right? If you're seeing two, you just shoot for the middle. You'll figure it out, right?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, and that's the thing with it's such a long season. You guys are on planes, you're traveling all over the place. I think people forget this. We had JJ Starling on last week. He's like, yeah, man, I've been sick for like a week. This year, I feel like everyone in Syracuse has been sick for like the last month. It's got to be tough, right, to push through the dog days of the season right now.
Well, you're not the only one. Everyone's going through it, and you know what? You just got to keep going, and that's the thing. Yep. I just say to this body every day, there's no time for that. We get sick in the summer if we have to, but we got to keep going and figure this thing out. I know it's kind of funny to say that, but our young people, we say prayer over their bodies and hope that for the outcome. And if somebody goes down, the next person up. That's the name of the game. And you don't claim like sickness, you don't claim that stuff. But if it comes, we're prepared to go 12 deep like we did last game.
Yeah. You examined the whole bench yesterday in the win, and they don't change the tip time if somebody's got the sniffles. That's for darn sure. And you mentioned Georgia. Like she quite literally has gone down and gotten up 8 million times this season, and did so yesterday. Just throws her body around, got to the free throw line all game long. What did Georgia show you down the stretch yesterday to help close that one out?
Resiliency, toughness, ability to understand the assignment, and I know this is a young lady that's playing desperate, she got about 5 weeks, 6 weeks left in her college career, and she's trying to go out with a bang, literally. And I love what she's becoming. I love that she's tough as nails, and she's playing with her teammates and understanding the shots she got to take are the ones at the beginning to start the game, sometime the middle or the end. But right now, all she's trying to do is help us win. And hope for another week so that we can stay together for a little bit longer. That's our goal, and that's her goal.
And you guys are going to have quite the trip this week, heading out to the West Coast. The guys just did it a few weeks ago and split the games at Stanford and Cal. You'll be traveling Wednesday, playing Thursday late night, and then Sunday again. How do you handle a week like this? Because this is a longer trip than you normally deal with.
One day at a time, it's not like just we're going through this by ourselves. The whole ACC is going through it. The whole Big Ten is going through it. The Big 12 is going through it. And so we're not the special ones. We're just the ones that's a part of it too. And so grateful for our ACC commissioner to grow our conference to a place like the California. So the young people that have never been to California can have ability to see how beautiful it is out there. We have so many alumni out there. We get a chance to hang out with some alumni. My college teammate Davida Smith and a player I coach, Suzanne Mumby, they're out there. They're going to come see us and celebrate, being about Syracuse for the weekend, for the week, if they get a chance to see both games. So we're always going to take the high road and be excited about the opportunity, because we could be in no conference like some people, right? Or we can be in a bad conference like some people. But we're in the best conference for women's basketball in the country. And so we got to take a little plane ride. Let's go. We out there. Let's make sure we on the plane.
Yeah, and you'll be out there. NBA All-Star Weekend's kind of happening while you're out there. Did I hear you guys get to go to the Rising Stars on Friday and check that out a little bit?
I think that's what we're trying to do. Coach Moore set things up for us. I just stick to the X's and O's, and I know we made a phone call to this guy named Anderson Verjao to see if he can hook us up. We know somebody that he might know, like a niece that's on our team, but even he didn't have any pull. I said, come on, man. When you was a player, you had this kind of pull. What happened to you, man? Now you're in the VP section. But yeah, we're going to go there. We're going to work hard. But when you're in an area like that, you're going to have to find some time to show young people that it's okay to have some fun playing this 2-semester sport. And if we can find some time to have some fun, Coach Moore's going to make certain that we do.
Awesome. That'll be cool on Friday out there, and then so Stanford Thursday, Cal Sunday. Stanford. I mean, we know their pedigree from the last 3-4 decades. Tara Vanderveer, one of the all-time greats, retired after last season. Her name's on the court. Looks nice with her signature out there. Is pretty cool. What's this Stanford like? We've known that Stanford for so many years. What's this Stanford this year?
I think the new coach who's been there as an assistant for many, many, many years is finding that same pedigree as her head coach in the past, and it just doesn't stick as well right now. But I tell you what, the formula is perfect, and we just don't want the formula to come together when we play, that's for sure. But I like the player she has. I like the ability to shoot the ball from the three. I like their triangle offense they run. I like the way they run and hustle and look focused, whether they're up or down. That's a sign of what they were for the last 30, 40 years. And I see that coming back with this new coach. But on Thursday, we just make certain they don't come back too fast.
Yeah, they've been in quite literally every NCAA tournament going back. I think it's to 1987. So it's been since you were playing, Coach. I mean, it's been a minute. It's been a minute since.
That's like 3 minutes, I think.
Just a few. Speaking of minutes, I mean the game's at 10:00 our time. So do you have to do anything to adjust for that, or it's just like, hey, college kids are up late. They can handle playing late night out on the West Coast.
I was with USA Basketball, and we had to change time zones throughout the world. And one thing that we did was adjust our practice time. So we don't know if it's right, but we're going to practice tomorrow night at 7 p.m. and we're going to flip it around and come back in the morning. So they can get after practice and then they can sleep on the plane and then get out and practice and get a shoot around on Wednesday night there and see if we can kind of trick their bodies and understanding that the time zone they're in is already adjusted. So it's not a lot you can do with the 1 day notice, but we're going to try and give our kids the best effort, ability to try to have success. But you don't know if you get it right. This is our first time around. We're going to give it our best effort.
All right, Coach. I'll give it my best effort as well. I got a feeling I may fall asleep on the couch.
Come on,
we'll
man.
Give it a go on.
You get tough.
I'll try. I'll try. I will try. I'm not giving you any guarantees. The good news is if I do fall asleep, it's not going to affect whether you win or not. So hopefully you guys can go give it a go on Thursday. Coach, safe travels for a long trip out west. Hopefully good results. We'll talk again next week. Okay?
Respect. Thank you so much for all you do. And go Orange.
Well, there we are. There's Felisha Legette-Jack. Go see Coach in person an hour and a half from now. The Coach Jack Show, as always, on Mondays is out at the Wegmans Burger Bar in DeWitt. Jack Gordon filling in for Tim Leonard because he's kind of on the air right now. He's at this lacrosse game. And what just happened here? Syracuse has scored multiple times while we were talking to Coach. They have 6 now. Did Towson just score? What's happening here? I think it's 6-3. They're showing a review. Is it a dive? Do we have a dive play? He landed in the crease. What do we got? I think it's 6-3. It is 6-3. The Orange keep scoring. It's 6-3, final minute of the opening quarter. We'll keep you apprised of that as we roll along throughout the opening half of this game. We'll take a break here. When we come back, Mike will come in, a little 411, maybe a little more Super Bowl talk after this. Here on a Monday, it's Q Sports Talk and ESPN Radio.